I've been using Visible's new 5G home internet service for about 5 days now. And I've got to be honest, my experience has actually been pretty interesting throughout this entire process. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my real experience so far on what it's actually been like using the service. Now, just for context, this is running off the Verizon wireless network through Visible. So this is cellular-based internet, not cable and not fiber. So right off the bat, the performance for these 5G home internet gateways is going to depend a lot on your location, tower congestion, and even where you place the router in your home. I've noticed that the Visible 5G internet gateway isn't as location dependent, meaning the majority of the time that I've had it, it was sitting on my desk and I was still able to get the advertised speeds. This is entirely different than the T-Mobile home internet gateway's experience for me. For that, it absolutely had to be pointed near the window facing the cell phone tower. So what I found in my personal experience is that the Visible gateway doesn't seem to be affected by this as much. This could just be that I'm literally half a mile near line sight of the cell phone tower, but I just wanted to bring that up. The first thing I noticed after actually using this for a few days is that it's actually more usable than I expected in certain situations. For basic everyday use, checking emails, watching YouTube, and streaming TV, it honestly holds up really well. It got to the point where I didn't even need to think about the connection. It just worked as it should. Now, when it comes to speeds and consistency, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. I did go ahead and perform a couple different speed tests throughout the past couple days and evenings. And here are the results. As you can see, pretty consistent. This actually does deliver around the estimated 200 megabits per second for the download speed. Now, as someone who uploads videos, the upload speeds are something that I pay extra attention to. And that's something that I'm still testing more over time. But as you can see, my upload speeds are ranging anywhere from 12 to 17 megabits per second. Now, if you were somewhere where you had millimeter wave, I suspect that you might even be able to push past 20 megabits per second for the upload speed. But the download still seems to be hard capped at up to 200 megabits per second. Now, I do want to clarify this because some people think that this is going to be just as reliable as cable or fiber. It really does depend on how close you are to the tower. If you live closer to a tower that is less congested, you get higher speeds. If you live further away from the tower, you might tend to get lower speeds overall. This might not replace cable or fiber for everyone, but honestly, I don't think it was meant to. This is especially true if you're doing anything that is latency sensitive. At the end of the day, results can vary greatly. It all depends on your location to the cell phone tower and how congested it is at the time. After 5 days of using this, here is where I'm at. As of right now, it just seems to work as intended. But this really comes down to what is your location looking like. I'm going to continue testing this and see how it continues to perform. I'll be doing speed tests, more real-world coverage, and a full 30-day review. So, if you're curious to see how this holds up over time, make sure you're subscribed. And if you haven't watched my initial video, where I break this down into full detail and explain if you should actually consider using something like this or not, guys, I have that video right over there for you to check out. So I'll see you over there.